Greetings guys, it's Kazor. With a lot more players experimenting with many different comfort builds, this question is posed a lot of times. Which one is better, Evade Window or Evade Extender? Well, it's complicated. In this video, we will talk about what both of these skills do and which one is better depending on your playstyle and weapon choice. With that being said, let's get right into it. So what is Evade Window? Evade Window extends the invulnerability frames, commonly known as iframes, in our roll animation. If you didn't know already, rolling makes us invulnerable for 4 frames, meaning that we can potentially roll through a lot of fast moves, including roars, without flinching or taking any damage. In previous Monster Hunter games, mastering the roll was the bread and butter for every player, since we didn't have many counters or mobility skills. At least not until Monster Hunter Generations Adept style. So what does the Evade Window skill do exactly? Well, it increases the frames, therefore time, we are invincible when rolling. The following picture is cropped by an extraordinary video by YukinoSan, who did an amazing guide on Evade Window that nobody can top. The amount of research put into a single video by this person is phenomenal, and I highly suggest you watch it if you want to know about Evade Window in depth. You can find the link in the description. Currently there's many pieces of equipment that have Evade Window, plus some other skills, so you can probably use this skill along with other important skills of your choosing. Who knows, maybe you run into a decent talisman that also has Evade Window and you want to put that to use somehow. So what is the best weapon to use Evade Window with? Well, it depends. As a rule, excluding personal preferences, we would like to use Evade Window with weapons that don't have ways to comfortably protect themselves. We probably wouldn't need Evade Window with weapons like the longsword that can counter any move almost immediately, or with weapons like the lance and the gun lance that can block most attacks. It's much better to pair Evade Window with the following weapons instead. Dual Blades. The Dual Blades got a new counter skill with Sunbreak and they're quite fun to play, but let's say you don't feel like using the counter and you just want to slide in and do stationary damage with only one button that gives you invulnerability, that button being your Evade. In that case, Evade Window might be fun for you. Hammer and Hunting Horn. What can I say? These weapons face the most danger, because their only optimal target is the monster's head, and that's the most difficult place to be in constantly. Excluding wirebug skills, only the hammer has a proper counter attack with Water Strike, but you can't Water Strike mid-combo, and it's hard to pull off unless you know the monster you're fighting pretty well. Evade Window can be amazing in these two weapons, to keep the fluidity of their attacks along with some safety. Switch Axe. The Switch Axe finally got its counter with Monster Hunter Sunbreak, and it looks amazing. Nonetheless, this counter requires 2 wirebugs, and it has a lengthy animation, meaning you lose a lot of damage if you miss it. Switch Axe has the potential to deal insane damage if it sticks to a target. That's why it's the most popular speedrunning melee weapon at the moment. With Evade Window you can evade between combos and keep slicing and dicing. Light and Heavy Bowgun. These weapons are all about positioning and dealing insane damage when they find an opening. Generally, you're the most vulnerable hunter, since you take more damage from physical attacks, potentially getting one-shot by a lot of strong moves the monsters use. Both weapons have some sort of mobility with wirebugs now, but it would be nice if you could roll through most one-hit KO moves with the press of a button. If you feel like this fits your gameplay, then Evade Window might be a good option for you. Okay, we got the core concept of Evade Window out of the way, and we know what weapons can pair nicely with it. Let's talk about Evade Extender. Evade Extender is pretty straightforward. It extends your evasion distance. All rolls, slides, hops, and movement skills now cover more distance. It's a good skill if the monster's attacks cover a huge area of effect and you want to get out of the way, or if you want to reposition ASAP to get to a weak spot. Evade Extender is all about positioning, and it is a lot of times used offensively in order to close gaps between you and the monster, like after Magnamalo dives you and slides far back, Valstrax ambushes, and many more. It also requires only 3 level 2 slots in order to max out this skill, making it much easier to flex it in your set. Like with Evade Window, YukinoSan has made yet another amazing video covering Evade Extender distance in depth, along with all the switch skills that existed in base Rise. If you want to watch that video, it will also be in the description. So we now know what Evade Extender does, but how should we use it? Well, like with Evade Window, a lot of armor pieces have Evade Extender integrated in them, and also it requires just 3 level 2 slots for max level, so you can choose whatever skills you want along with it if you like this playstyle. You can even slot in level 1 or 2 of Evade Extender, there's no need to max it out, just find what is comfortable for you. With that being said, what weapon is best to use with Evade Extender? Again, it's all about preference. You can play Evade Extender with any weapon, but slow moving weapons benefit a lot from it. Here's some examples. Greatsword. Since Greatsword is super slow with the weapon drawn out, you might find it useful to slot in this skill in order to roll closer to the monster once they've been knocked down. It can also be useful to get out of the way once you've committed to an attack. Dual Blades. All the dashes you do in Demon mode will have their distance increased, so if you like dashing around and closing huge gaps in the blink of an eye, you might love Evade Extender on Dual Blades. Lance and Gun Lance. These two weapons specialize in guarding and don't have the greatest mobility. However, with Evade Extender, all your hops are now massive. No monster will be able to run. You also have a huge shield to block incoming attacks. Now you are truly invincible. I personally love playing Evade Extender on lances, and I always go for it as a main skill to slot. Charge Blade. This weapon is all about positioning. By slotting in Evade Extender, you can more quickly position yourself out of harm's way and at a perfect angle for a super amped elemental discharge, or simply to close the distance before you start sawing at the monster. Bow. The bow is phenomenal with Evade Extender. Keeping step, charging sidestep, and dodge bolt, all of them get their distances amplified with this skill. This can keep you out of harm's way a lot more consistently. If you really enjoy this playstyle, slotting in this skill might be for you. Okay, we've talked about both Evade Extender and Evade Window. So which one is better? It really depends on playstyle, and neither is necessarily better than the other. Yet Evade Extender needing only 3 slots to max it out seems much more optimal, and also the distance covered when you use it is really fun to watch. I would personally choose Evade Extender as my favorite, since I am very experienced with the counters and wirebug skills in the weapons I'm playing, and I don't really need more invulnerability frames when I'm rolling. However, it all depends on what you like and your playstyle. As an extra tip, both Evade Extender and Evade Window work with some wirebug skills like the Switch Axe Wire Step. I've seen some people play evasion skills along with Blade Scale Hone. I'm going to talk about Blade Scale Hone on the next video. It's a very interesting skill, so make sure to check that out when I post it. Also, let me know in the comments which skill you prefer, how many levels you're slotting, and what weapon you're using. A lot of people might find your idea useful and try it out for themselves. Having said that, we have covered everything. As always, thank you all for watching until this point. Make sure to leave a like if you found this video useful, subscribe for more content, and ring the bell to be notified about new videos. Until then, stay safe.